Alright, today we got something fun, because not only are we testing out this computer for the first time, but we are testing out this Video 8 tape for the first time. This came to me courtesy of If You Like Good Ideas. It is a Maxell GX-MP Video 8 tape, and sometimes these things don't take very well to being new old stock and kept in the packaging for very long. I found that out the hard way with a couple of them. So we'll see if this one happens to be working. It seems to be okay. I don't hear any interesting noises so far, but we're going to find out. Similarly, we're going to find out if this thing actually survived the trip home. This was given to me by Matt, or Kirby Crazy, or Matt S78MN, depending upon how you want to look at it. It is a Toshiba Portege. It's actually a Portege, and part of the label there is obviously broken off. It's a very small computer. I mean, here's my hand for comparison. It's a 300 CT, and unfortunately you're about to see something very, very nasty that happens with pretty much all of these gray case Toshiba computers, and that is cracked plastics. The problem with this is Toshiba used a plastic that for whatever reason leaches out whatever the material is that makes it, not brittle prematurely. So this plastic gets very, very, very brittle. It's very, very easy to break. Usually it happens around the hinge area here on both sides. It didn't go that way with this one, but what did happen is, as you can see, quite a fair bit of breakage there. There's some breakage on the bottom down here. There's some breakage over there. And I think, yeah, you can definitely see the breakage right there. It's really kind of unfortunate because this thing is in really good shape otherwise. Like most Porteges, this thing is a sub-notebook, so you don't really get any ports. I mean, there's VGA on the back and connection to a docking station. Actually, is that even a docking station? Yeah, I think that's for the docking station. Might also be for the floppy drive. But on this side, you get two PCMCIA card slots. And seriously, other than one USB port over here on this side, as well as a modem, and your volume control and a headphone output. Or maybe that's even a line output, I don't know. But that's all she wrote. You don't really get much else. The hinge is busted on this, the little thing here. So you can see the very small screen. I don't even know what size you'd call this, as the camera goes wildly in and out of focus. Here you can see 300 CT with a single speaker. Intel Pentium MMX inside. There's your various indicators. Should be a beauty plug over top of that screw there, and the screw over here as well, but it doesn't have those. Amazingly enough, this piece right here is intact. That's one of the other common breaking points on these things, because it gets brittle, and it's not exactly easy to take that out. Reasonable keyboard. I mean, it's obviously a smaller sized keyboard, so it's not exactly the best thing in the world to type on, but it's not too bad. And you get your little eraser head mouse, or as some people call this, the nipple mouse. The battery's on the front, right there. And there are two more indications here, one for power and one for battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find a power supply, and we're going to see if this thing happens to survive the trip up here. We have signs of life. I didn't get the power supply with it. He was not generous enough to give me one of those, but any reasonable computer technician who's been at this for long enough probably has at least 400 of those. So let's see, did it survive? Here we go. Okay, well that's annoying. The camera decided that it was going to turn itself off after I hit the start button. But it is alive. Toshiba Video BIOS by Chips and Technologies. It'll be interesting to see which one that is. And I think I'm going to be stumped again here. Let me go ahead and plug the camera in. Alright, and we're back. So this thing actually has the scaler turned on, as you can see. Go ahead and press F1 and we get into the BIOS. And you can definitely see that the LCD display stretch is disabled. That's interesting. So the scaler apparently is not very good on this. Or it's not totally disabled or something. I'm going to just go ahead and enable it because I think it looks a little better. 256K color compatible, 64 megabytes of memory installed. No password, which is good. Full power. Everything there looks pretty much exactly as it should. There are 2 pages. If you push page down, you get to the next one. Again, there's nothing in there that really strikes me as being odd. There's no floppy drive or anything on this, so it's going to be a little interesting to try and get this to boot and to install anything on this, but there are ways to do it. You could probably do it with a surrogate computer. It's just too bad I don't have the docking station for this. So, it is, as far as I know, it is running Red Hat Linux or something of the such. Here's the self-test. So yeah, there we go. Red Hat Linux. Looks like a 1.3 gigabyte hard drive. Well, I think the reason why it's so quiet is because the speaker is off. Let's do a file system check. Well, we'll see if it boots up into anything interesting, and I'll come back. Well, after using the good old-fashioned single user mode to reset the root password, here we go. You can actually see what the CPU is now. Definitely a Pentium MMX at 133 megahertz. You know that hard drive is definitely not in the world's best shape. See if there's anything interesting. I wonder if there is... Oh, there is. Now, it may or may not be configured properly, but apparently there is an X server on here. And it's not really configured totally appropriately. You know, I'd almost be inclined to leave this alone and just use it as is. Because this would be cool. KDE. Now this would actually be really cool to play around with. After I clean it up, of course. It's probably got all manner of junk on it. Like I said, I just wish I had the docking station, because then I could have a floppy and a floppy and a CD-ROM. And I wouldn't have to worry about anything else. Alright. Very low resolution display, I'm telling you what. Wow, somebody really did configure this their own way. You can see, date and time is obviously not set. The CMOS battery is bad. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if we can find something that'll tell us a little bit more about the system itself. I'm actually kind of more interested to know how much space is on this hard drive and how much is used. HP LaserJet control panel. There's some interesting things on here. Let's go for disk management. So let's see. Floppy drive. That doesn't seem to really work the way that I expected it to. Well, I did find this, which tells me that there's quite a bit of used space on this. Look at that. Oops. So I think I've confirmed that it works. in a future video, since I don't really care about this install. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to play around with, but I don't think it's really set up exactly properly, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for now. I may see if the battery works. We'll let it sit here and probably charge for a little bit. We'll have to log out. What we're actually going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if the battery holds any amount of a charge. I'm going ahead and unplugging it. I expect that it will shut off immediately. Well, it didn't. But it isn't very good. So, yeah, there we go. It doesn't even have any CPI. It's APM only. I'm going to shut it down here. Okay. We'll try that. That'll be it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.